This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, my name is Bamelo Pio, and today we are going to have a very interesting conversation because we are diving deep into issues that are so hidden. So today's topic, we are talking about how do you overcome a nice guy syndrome. Hey, Benjamin.
Hello, and you know, it's look like syndrome is a sickness.
Yeah.
And why are you using a nice and syndrome? Aren't we trying to be good? Are we encouraging people to be bad, to be nasty, to be mean, to lie, to stop keeping their word, to not be gentlemen? That's not it. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a difference in nice guy and gentleman for the purposes of our conversation.
Okay.
In fact, we are trying to help guys to stop mistaking them. And the biggest difference is that the nice guy is just sold out on if he is nice and a giver, never says no, just pleases people, he will be accepted. Mm-hmm. Nice guy is a condition of deep-seated fear of rejection. To please the girl in front of him until he is accepted, he doesn't show his boundaries or show displeasure, even when he is displeased. Now, you saw that joke that when it's written, wet paint, don't touch.
Yeah.
Your instinct is to touch.
Exactly.
So, a kind of a joke, but it's a place that when you are near to each other, you are subconsciously checking how far you can touch the paint. Wet paint, don't touch. People are always looking for where is don't touch. Where is don't touch? Where is don't touch? I told you about some people want resistant spicing in their food, like raw. They just want pepper that is raw. And some people have gone past putting it in the food
to eating it.
They bite and they... Some people are looking for where is your resistance.
Yeah.
Early on in dating, always remember wet paint, don't touch. Where is your line that they should not cross? Mm-hmm. And people want to know, can you defend yourself when you are crossed offended? Do you have a direction? Is that something? Where is your minimum negotiables? Mm-hmm. This is not that they are cheeky, it is human nature. Some laws of human nature, when you understand principles, you minimize resistance in your life.
Yeah.
Understand the principle. When it is operating, you know how it means. Mm-hmm. You align. You avoid injury. Yeah. Time wasted, loss, pain. The one law of human nature is they always want to check how far they can go. Mm-hmm. And for women in particular, they want to know, do you have the ability to say no to other women apart from herself? Be careful. One old man was advising my wife, told her that if the guy drinks, buy him beer so that he can pour out what was in him. Mm. If he loves eating, give him all the food. Those things early on, when you see the appetite where they are, indulge them. Mm-hmm. Of course, it didn't mean the sex or anything like that. He was talking about to let the people be themselves, to allow room to see how far they will go when they had space to go. Where the boundary of their own, how far they will go. Where's the boundary of where they say no, where they hold?
Yeah.
Nice guys have a problem saying no. It makes them feel very bad. Mm-hmm. Saying no to all humans is uncomfortable because we want to be pleasant, we want happiness, we want peace, we want harmony. Confrontational or putting limitation is uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Anybody who becomes a driver, I think some of the baptism of fire is road rage. Somebody touches your car, scratches your car, and they're the ones throwing tantrums at you.
Yeah.
They're the ones wasting your time. A friend of mine was telling me, although it's okay that you're supposed to stop whenever anything happens, But he was telling me that sometimes those minor things that are likely to waste more time than the money you have used to spend it, don't waste time with them.
Yeah.
In relationships, is where is that thing that you'd say, past that, I am not engaging. So, nice guy syndrome has several symptoms. We have called it a syndrome because it is deep-seated fear of rejection and doing everything the lady wants to be accepted. It is related to something else you had, obsession. We said you're obsessed with a person when you know you don't deserve them. Obsession is a conversion of undeservingness, that this is something you never have gotten otherwise. You cling because you can't get another one like it. You don't deserve it. You don't measure up. When you know you can always get a good person and you are deserving, are you desperate?
No.
Obsession is desperation. Obsession is conversion of weakness, of that you don't belong. You somehow maneuvered your way here. And you don't belong here. There's a difference between persistence, being focused and determined, versus being clingy and obsessive when you are no longer wanted.
Yeah.
And you're so afraid that you may not get anything like this again. The syndromes of nice guys involve when the lady keeps you late, you act like it's nothing. You agreed you're meeting at 8 and by 9 you're still seated there. She comes 9:45. Say, oh, sorry, there was traffic. I say, don't worry, I understand. And that's all. 1 hour, 45 minutes. The one way to set boundaries and draw respect, because nice guys lose respect for not having respect for themselves and their time when they don't appear to have any annoyance. Annoyance is important. You need to get angry when you're crossed. The moment you can't get angry when you're crossed, there's a difference in feeling anger and expressing it. You express it in a calm, gentle way, but you should have boundaries beyond which you are displeased.
Okay.
Displeasure is part of your boundaries. Don't lose your anger. You need it to defend yourself. The same way when people step on your toe, you react.
Yeah.
When people step on your toe psychologically, you also
React.
yes. You push back.
Okay.
Don't fall in love, then you lose your senses. You should maintain your senses alive. Just because the one who stepped on your shoe, you love them. Don't worry, actually, I usually don't feel pain. Huh? Somebody stepped in, and because you're in love, you're saying you don't feel
Pain.
no. They delayed you. And during dating, you realize how people don't keep time. People just don't keep time.
Yeah.
And they don't even have the courtesy to communicate. And they keep telling you traffic jam delayed them, as if they are new to the city, as if that's the first day there is traffic. The most lame excuse you can give is traffic. Unless you are new. Traffic is a constant. When you're budgeting, you factor it.
Yes.
It's foreseeable. Of course, sometimes there's unusual blockade, which will be in the news, or somebody will be able to understand that this is what was unusual. You factored it.
Yeah.
But anytime somebody ran late, I wrote them off. We won't go any far.
Yeah.
And you should not wait beyond, set a time beyond which you don't wait, you reschedule.
Okay.
Rescheduling sometimes also means postponing indefinitely. Interview over. You wanted to check and you have checked. The results are disappointing, but they are conclusive. For me, my longest waiting time was 20 minutes. 20, longest. So, those want to test. I want to test how much you can wait. That kind of nonsense. Thank you very much. Continue testing others. I have things to do. And we'll make sure we are clear what time we are meeting and where. This is the cafe. Sometimes you get in town and you get lost. And we are trying to find direction together. That is different than when you just no show, missing in action. Or saying, oh, I'm just leaving the house, 2:20, and we were meeting at 2. Sorry, I think we should just say, but now I'm already dressed. That is nonsense. You're the one supposed to So I will not put it that way. Say, I'm sorry, I had another appointment. Even if the appointment was to take a nap, that is also
An appointment.
Please, don't limit appointment to mean big things. Whatever was next on my schedule, that is next. So I don't think we'll have enough time now that we are starting late. What I think is we can reschedule. Unfortunately, I understand. You always try to say you understand. So that you can lower yourself to the level of consciousness. You know that is the level of operation.
Yeah.
That's how imprecise they are. When somebody is not sure about their afternoon, they'll say they're not sure about some things, but they know there'll be some time. They're not sure when it will open.
Yeah.
Can we leave it open between 2 and but at 1 I'll communicate to where we are. So you arrange yourself, say, I'll be hanging around. You work from some place, knowing that because I told you as early as you meet a lady you're interested in, go and dig in. To save time, to stop your fantasies. You know you're building her in the head.
Yes.
The photos you are seeing, you don't know whether they match reality. Sometimes they're too choreographed. Nowadays, everybody is an artist. Nowadays, everybody knows how to change this, touch up that, change this. So, the first thing is punctuality. Require it without compromise. And you're nice, you're polite, but you're uncompromising. That is very respectable. When you're nice, polite, but uncompromising.
Yeah.
And they know you can politely drop the whole business if it's not working. You know, politeness, we say punctuality is professional courtesy, it's discourtesy to keep people waiting past the time you'd agreed because of your disorganization.
Yeah.
I hope you know that if you insist on waiting on a person who's late, even by the time they come, your mood will have been spoiled to an extent that the meeting has no point. The food has not tasted, the conversations don't flow, you're already angry, you feel disrespected, you feel thrown off, you wonder how they take you, you're looking at them, what kind of human being they are. One reason you should leave when people are late is to avoid awkward meetings. Because your mood will have been destroyed by their lateness. When you're a punctual person, you feel wasted. When we started professional work, we were being told that sometimes clients will give you appointments and they cancel last minute. So if there was no commitment, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They can actually spend the money elsewhere and say, sorry, I ran out of money, and you're already seated waiting for them. So our professors were telling us that's how they invented the concept of commitment, pay everything ahead or some down payment ahead, and that is, if you cancel last minute, that's what you lose.
Yeah.
They were saying, if you don't have any commitment, human beings have that tendency. If they can get away with it, we can plan another day when you have already arrived. When you are a walk-in, when you work with walk-ins, that may not be very costly because anyway, you stay in office, you wait for them. But if you don't work with walk-ins, you work with appointments only, you already stopped everything else to avail yourself for them, but then they're cancelling on you last minute. That is even impossible. Yeah. It happens to you once, twice, you realize this is not tenable. There must be a solution elsewhere. The rule in leadership is people behave when their lives are at, when their money is at stake. You always put stakes. The first rule in dating is let there be stakes. People to know they must behave or else they will lose you.
Yeah.
You don't always have to say it, you behave it. For example, if I want to tell you that we have set a meeting with you on Thursday, 2 p.m. and I don't want to tell you in an aggressive way. If you run late, I'll cancel. You know that's too aggressive.
Yeah.
In our conversations, I can drop other incidences where somebody else ran late. I can communicate indirectly. That my modus operandi is that if the time is not working, I understand, but I will not be available.
Yeah.
You know, I have already registered. Indirect messages are very powerful. It may be a cooked up story. Sometimes you need to generate illustrations. You know, artificial intelligence, one of the things we need to learn, all of us, AI is permeating every sphere. Even now it is doing a lot better than Photoshop. You can just command it to generate, somebody generated, I don't know why they're imagining arresting Trump. So they just asked it to generate captivating photos of Trump being arrested. So they see him running, police coming, resisting, all the way to court, prison. I don't know the imaginations they have against Trump, but they put that kind of a thing. So you also need to generate imaginations that can help you illustrate stories. That technique actually helps you to bring up a topic you want to hear her opinion, but you don't want to be that direct. For example, you hear women hide children. So you ask that your cousin discovered that the lady he has been dating has hidden a child. What should you advise? It's just a story, and you know, and her opinion will also reflect what she thinks. You have given a hypothetical case that helps you to hear what she thinks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you also give the advice you gave somewhere for her to know you stand there. It's not everything is direct. If this ever happens, if this ever happens, we gain an understanding through conversations. Areas that matter to you. Areas that matter to you. If something like an abortion for you is intolerable, for example, and you think that is too cruel on an innocent person, and you hear that there are women, even when they're married, they didn't want the child, they're aborting, and now we drift apart. You hear couples who are wrangling over that. At one moment she was pregnant, I realized next she's not. She started saying it was miscarriage, and I know it was not, because if it was a genuine medical emergency, we would have handled it together.
Yeah.
The way she did it quietly, I came to realize later, I know that is not. And for me, I'm drifting. What if during dating you would have made it, for not every time you need to bring everything up. Things are many, but over your head, there are things that are important, isn't it? And you've seen them happen, isn't it? And you know somewhere they happen, these things. And in your conversations. So the first thing as a gentleman is to maintain your niceness, but have non-negotiable minimums. And one of them is the punctuality. And one way to show people that you're punctual is yourself to be punctual to the minute. Remember, the only time you can arrive, if our meeting is 8, you can't walk in at 8. You need a few minutes to sit down, to breathe.
Yeah.
So there's no such time as we are meeting at 8, so you're working with 8. You're not even serious.
Yeah.
8 is 1 minute. It's only 1 minute called 8 o'clock. How do you hope to use 1 minute to clock in? Find a chair, sit down, greet, breathe. 1 minute. You're not serious.
Yeah.
Anybody who's serious with being there at 8 is working with 20 minutes to. Yeah. So you find them walking in quarter to and all that. And if it's actually 15 minutes and they're not sure which floor it is, they know they need some minute to find their bearings and where that is. So anybody working with a new place and the meeting is 8, that person in their head is 7:30. They register, they know 30 minutes I have to find a parking spot, sitting, let me orient myself, breathe, and now even meetings, serious people cannot walk in on the hour.
Yeah.
They are working with before to sit down, take out their whatever they're noting, and and say hi here, and you see them calling the meeting to order just a few minutes. Hey, great, how are you, and all that. So part of what you develop to remove that passive. The symptom is you never get angry, you never show displeasure, you never say no, you hide your feelings. You pretend like you are impossible to offend. That is a lie. And they come to realize other women will also run their life, your life like that.
Yeah.
The second symptom of nice guys, they give too much too soon. Do not go to help her move on that day of knowing her. Now you have volunteered a car, you brought people to move her, and you're already in her life doing so much. Do not take over. People always have a drama going on in their life. They have an event coming up, something else, a need for money here, another thing there. Life is busy. You remember that guy who said, I was told to watch over a certain man, and while I was busy here and there, the man escaped. Yeah. And the king told him, your own confession has judged you. Sometimes when you're busy here and there, that is the nature of your life. You'll enter, she'll also having here and there. Event coming up, the other one was passed, the other one was passed. So everybody has a wheel of life rolling, rolling. Do not take over the place of her man too soon. You're doing a good thing, but you appear too eager to please. When you're too eager to please, you're impossible to respect. Let me tell you another contradiction of human psychology. For people to be desirable, we must know they are not easy. Not everybody can get them. For a woman to like you, she must know there's a threshold to get. It's hard to get Brahma. It's not easy. He does not get that involved. He doesn't just dish out money. If we meet today and tomorrow you are sending her 50,000 for lunch, amount your salary for lunch. No. People can tell approximately what you earn by the lifestyle you're living.
Yeah.
You don't always need to know the exact figure I'm working with. If you look at my lifestyle, you can get an estimate. So whenever I give you 1,000, you know how much sacrifice. And the value of money is not always the amount. It's the context.
Yeah.
Who is giving what they have remaining? When our Lord said that woman gave everything. From her poverty, everything, she gave just small, a denarii small. But she gave it because where she was getting it from, there was nothing remaining.
Yeah.
Some people give you 1,000 with nothing remaining. A true sacrifice. Somebody else pulled it out from a bundle. So it is still the same amount, but the kind of sacrifice to them is not the same. Sometimes a friend of yours will contribute for you when you have an event, 2,000 shillings, and you get offended because you know the context of your relationship.
Yeah.
And the way you invest in each other, 2,000 is an insult. Another person sends you 500 and you feel generally so grateful because the connection you have is not strong. We don't always respond to need, we respond to relationship. I had one preacher say, explaining that sometimes you think when you're praying, when you're asking, when you're going to friends, it's the need that will appeal to them. And he was saying, no, it's who you are to each other. That's what creates the response. There are many people with emergencies now, and you're not bothered about all of them.
Yeah.
Because first, you're a limited resource. You can't be everywhere. Secondly, the degree of reciprocity. You can give charity here and there. There's some time, and it has its place. But relationships are things that move. When they were appealing about Lazarus who was sick, they did not say Lazarus who loves you. They were careful. They said the one whom you love.
Yes.
Is sick. They emphasized they realize how you care about. So part of what as a nice guy is to limit your investment per time. Investment graduates with time, with depth of the relationship, with getting to be in each other's life. And I told you to create unusual but shortcuts to learning people. One shortcut is remove them from their bubble, travel with them far away. People can't act the whole day. At some point, they'll become themselves.
Yeah.
Acting is a lot of work. When you're seated across table, people can maintain that composure. Say that your friend has a roller show in Nyeri. And you actually hire a car. So that when you're seated there in front of both of you, and you even have two other friends there, the social context, you hear their opinion, their contribution, you hear things. Whether they remain silent, withdrawn, and cold, you take it as a last warning to never come near that woman again. We said the other day to avoid socially avoidant, isolated, sullen, angry women. And this is not about personality. Even when you're an introvert and you're naturally reserved, when you have a happy, open, warm spirit, it can be seen.
Yeah.
And when you're having a pleasant conversation, just two or three of us, you not make us feel awkward by looking angry and facing away the whole time. And we are not saying you're always happy, but do you have the courtesy to just flow with what we are doing? And you have seen men embarrassed. They come with the wife, children there, and the wife has a weird mood. Just unapproachable, detached. And the man has to compensate by talking on behalf of both of them, everywhere. Talking and even creating stories that she's unwell to explain the awkwardness. And those who know them, they're wondering, is she unwell every day? Every day she's unwell. Bad attitudes are actually sick attitudes. And now you have to create sick stories to cover up. When you're a nice guy, resist the urge to give so much.
Yeah.
This comes from being ready to know that you're not the only hunter in the jungle. And sometimes who you identified might have been identified by another who she also identified back. Probably you're a very nice guy, but some people will not see your niceness.
Yeah.
At least immediately. Some people appreciate you too late. Are we together? You approach them, you sell your case, because they're already enamored with another guy who's not even serious about them, who is pursuing someone else. You heard that story that you're usually running after someone else, ignoring the one who's running after you, who is also ignoring the one who's running after this. So it's a dissatisfied circuit. If all of us took an about turn, would meet our solution. But no, We don't want the one who wants us. We want the one who does not want us. Who is also wanting the one who does not want. So sometimes you go sadly. There are people you're going to live with sadness. You know they will regret, but you don't have time to wait for the regret. You don't want people to come to you when they run out of options. If people choose you and they know what you have to choose, be careful. That is a problem with picking a girl from some Webuye village. No other decent guy was showing interest. Only you who showed in a car and mesmerized the family with heavy shopping and supermarket shopping from the city.
Creating a scene.
You know, you stormed. You know, she was choosing between you and who? Be careful.
Yeah.
Make sure people are choosing between you and a worthy competitor. If there was no worthy competitor in sight, the day the competitor shows up, they might be preferred.
Yeah.
Make sure people have ascended to a place of choice before you settle on them.
Yeah.
One lady put it and told him to his face, you see, you chose me and did not choose you. You were in the university, I was in the village. How many university people wanted me? Now I have many, at least I can choose. Let me tell you. And some people, by the time they start moving around, in their mind, they're not cheating. Now they are choosing. You took away their constitutional right to choose. It feels like so natural. And they tell you, if it is wrong, why does it feel so good? What is happening here? If it is wrong,
Why does it feel so good?
it's a stage they skipped.
Yeah.
And you're not saying there's a stage for sleeping around. You're saying there's a stage for making peace. When I told people that you should marry a person who is done with the sexual exploration stage, and poverty delays developmental stages. You can find a girl who's 25 and she has never had the space to explore anything, to survival. Poverty takes away your right to live, reduces you to struggle for survival.
Yeah.
Like an animal. You know, you studied that theory and named it after animals. Now, please, let me introduce you another place where the same theory applies to people. Struggle for survival. Food. Tomorrow's. And I told you the weird thing when you want to give help. The ones you want to give, you must give them the help to come for the help. So, when you bring aid, you also bring the finance to get the aid to the people. Naturally, if I tell you about Africa for you, you won't ask me for fare to come for the car.
Exactly.
You find your way to come here. But down there, you must also transport the one you are helping. Down to everything. To everything. Even to facilitate a decent life. Some of the people are cheating because you found them before that stage you are calling is when people had the freedom to do whatever they want and they made peace with discipline, that they'll be self-controlled. It is that negotiation and the debate and controlling their feelings and resisting their temptation urges. That's what we are calling exploration, not sleeping around. Actually, when you sleep around, you're creating bad memories, strongholds. And I was telling young men that the worst thing about pornography is not to waste a lot of your time and your energy. Those are heavy losses, but they are the minor ones in comparison to the major one. The major loss with pornography is the strongholds, the images and obsessive, compulsive urges and desires it plants in your mind. That may last you ages. 50-50, you may never detox your mind. If I can plead with every young man, run. Anytime you see those pornographic clips, just because you are single, you feel like you're not cheating with anyone, you are cheating on yourself. You're planting things. When it said, whoever commits sexual adultery sins against his own body, some things God said and left without elaborating. So he took them on
the surface.
He thought, if it's the body, I will forgive myself. You know, you can deceive yourself. The mind is part of everything he was explaining. It plants things in your mind that will continue coming to you. And you find your inner spirit experiencing the same things when you are quietly seated and you wanted to be clean today. You actually intended to be clean. You know, then a woman flashes in front of you who resembles a character. A scene flashes. A sound. Anything. One guy said it is the mayhem in his mind that he regrets the most. And he says, if I can recover my purity, my peace, I would sell everything for it. And the true freedom is not getting all your desires fulfilled. It's controlling those desires. Yeah. In fact, the richness of life is not having a lot of things. Everything you want is wanting less things. Not having a lot of things,
but wanting less.
The most powerful person is one who has fewer desires, fewer requirements to be at peace. Brahma, the ability to just be calm, mentally at peace, present, tranquil, is golden. Safeguard yourself. That exploration period for youth, I was telling them there's a difference between enjoying your youth and destroying your life.
Yeah.
If you start throwing yourself to things that are digging your feet into mire and filth, you're not enjoying your youth, you're destroying your life. The last thing you want to do as a nice man, want to overcome the syndrome, is to learn the difficult art of being a bad guy. Very difficult. I want you to study nasty people, see how selfish and absorbed they are to hit at you, and then develop defenses. Those defenses will feel like you're being a bad guy. Antelopes don't wait for lions to fight them. They develop the ability to run very fast.
Yeah.
I want you to learn the ability to disappear very fast. Shut doors. Don't wait for one last conversation. You see, your good nature wants to always part in a civilized way.
Yeah.
Let us have one last conversation. I give you feedback. Maybe you can use it to improve your life. This life, you must learn how to be bad. This is not meanness. This is not assuming everybody has good intentions. When you realize a lady has trapped you into an entanglement, you don't wait to end it decently. Block and go. No other call. It will feel bad. That's not your nature. But when you realize this is a cunning person trying to trap me, for example, if they're using your name, telling people, I'm dating Brahman, leave Brahman alone. You realize she has called 2 ladies now, texted, threatening to keep away. And this is just a colleague at work with whom you have nothing. Maybe there's a time, sometimes you have an ambiguous connection. You went for one date and you did not like what you saw, so you stopped. You talked for a month, for hours in the evening, and you lost interest. But that lady remains in that mood that there's a time you wanted her, and maybe you're still wanting her. And whenever she sees you showing attention to other people, she goes to attack them. Facebook looks for them. What are you doing with my boyfriend? If you learn that, what are you going to do? You remain the nice guy, I don't want trouble? No. You walk up to their desk. Just wanted to politely remind you that I have proof that you're telling people I'm in a relationship with you. And I told so-and-so to sit here as a witness that I have nothing with you. I respect you as a colleague, and you should stop interfering in my personal life. I have the freedom to talk. I want the freedom to talk to whoever I want. Let's respect each other like grown-ups. Is that a nice guy language? No. No. Very uncomfortable. That feels, you feel bad.
Yeah.
You'll have to sit somewhere and recollect yourself after that. Nice guys can't talk like that to women. And women have learned it. So they bring all the way to your eyes. They bring themselves to your house, bring themselves to your life, impose on your space. They use your money. They use your name, borrow things in your name, lie about you, drag you to that drama, just because they have a crush on you and you're not interested. Are you aware that some guys most nice guys don't choose a wife, they are chosen? So, you must learn to be bad in the sense of, Jordan B. Peterson says, a good man who has no capacity to be bad is not really good, he's just weak. A nice guy cannot talk and push back and say, leave me alone. stay out of my space. Is he really nice or is he just weak?
Weak.
Very good. You need the ability to say, let's respect each other. Stay in your lane, I stay in mine. If you cross past it, I'm going to police. This is enough evidence, I'll go to police station. Some of them, they will tell you if they manage to lure you to sex or something like that. So you just wanted to use me. I did not rape you. I told guys sometimes to be firm. Some people are resurrecting from your past. To claim a second payment for something both of you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Did I rape you? No. It was consensual? Yes. Are we grown-ups? Yes. Was it for both enjoyment? Thank you very much. Do you sell? Am I supposed to pay? How much? So, you know, nice guys have been trapped by, we had sex.
Yeah.
Even we got a child. But was it consensual? Yes. Did we both, does the child carry both our... So, nice guys have been trapped with pregnancy. If there is pregnancy, somebody is trying to trap you, remind them it was mutual agreement for mutual enjoyment. I owe you no marriage. I don't owe you anything. We were not married. So, please, you can't say I used you. You also used me. That moment was consensual. Hey. Now, is this a nice guy language? No. So you must learn some tactics of bad boys. We're saying, hey, we owe each other nothing. I think it was mutual. If you can prove it was forced, now we can go to court. You see, if you are a saved brother, for example, talking like that is very difficult. But you need it. Sometimes David played to be mad and like plucking of his beard.
Exactly. To avoid arrest.
Was that a nice guy behavior? Sometimes you need to look nasty to deal with nasty people. Thank you.
I like the illustrations you've used to Benjamin, because most of the nice guys are in wrong marriages. They're still paying bills in the wrong hotels.
Exactly.
Now, Benjamin, you've alluded to these nice people actually developing boundaries. But now again, there lies in something that they may not be in a position to differentiate. How do you differentiate between niceness and kindness?
Very good. So when you're kind, you're like Boaz. You see a poor girl who is trying to collect some food take home. You tell these guys, she's doing, just drop some more for her, it's okay. That's kindness. And you can still call that nice, you're behaving like a nice guy, but you said it's a syndrome when you have no boundaries, when you're afraid of rejection, when you are trying too much to win, when you don't believe you can find another, when you cannot push back, when you're not firm on your boundaries. So kindness is okay. When you have boundaries, you know how much, past what level you must speak up.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have irreducible minimums? Thank you so much for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heartmans. We're converging to learn together, because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life,